Hey fam, happy Friday. Welcome back. We're going to be jumping into Mark chapter 1, and we are looking at verses 29 through 34. And I just want to pause real quick to say if you are in San Diego, join us tomorrow. Every Saturday, we gather at 11 o'clock, 2088 Otay Lakes Road, Suite 101. So if you are looking for community, for faith, for God, for Jesus, please come out. That's Saturday at 11. Also, 12:30, we do offer classes, like an academic class on, we're teaching how to read the Bible well. Like, how do I actually interpret? How do I read? How do I exegete a passage? And so, yeah, come out if you want to be a part of that. And also, if you've not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, I want to invite you to please subscribe to our channel, or go to thewaysd.com if you want to check us out there. Our Instagram is theway.sd, theway.sd. All right, let's dive right into this Mark chapter 1, beginning at verse 29. And here's what Mark says. As soon as they left the synagogue, not 29, 35. In the morning, while it was still very dark, he, that is Jesus, got up and went out to a deserted place, and there he prayed. And Simon and his companions hunted for him. They were looking for him. Where is he? Where's Jesus? And when they found him, they said to him, "Everyone is searching for you." He answered, that is Jesus, "Let us go into the neighboring towns, so that I may proclaim the message there also, for that is what I came to do." And he went throughout all of Galilee, proclaiming the message in their synagogues and casting out demons. All right, let's pause. Let's just kind of look back. We just read in chapter 1 that Jesus launches his ministry, and he is filled with authority. His word has authority. His actions have authority. And here he is. He's gaining momentum. He's preaching with authority. He's casting out demons with authority. He's healing the sick with authority. In the previous verses, we just saw how Jesus had healed Simon Peter's mother, his mother-in-law. She's healed from fever. And then Mark says that the entire town came to Peter's house, and they were all gathered, and Jesus healed everybody in that town, in that village. And he's healing people of their sickness and their disease. So imagine if you are one of Jesus's disciples. You're like excited. You're like, look at this momentum. Jesus is becoming famous. Just imagine for a moment, like you or somebody goes viral. Somebody, your family member, or you're posting something and you go viral, completely viral. And it doesn't stop. It's not like a one video thing. It's like all of a sudden you were a nobody, like nobody didn't know about you, and now all of a sudden a bunch of people know about you, and all of your videos, all your content goes viral. So just imagine, here's the disciples, Peter's excited, Jesus is going viral, his name is being spread everywhere. And instead of riding that wave of momentum, instead of getting excited about that, Jesus pauses, and while it's still very dark, Mark says, before the sun even comes up, Jesus goes to a deserted place. He goes to a quiet place. So here's what I'm going to say. Number one, Jesus has a priority in his life. In his rhythm, his priority is prayer. And I want you to think about you for a moment. Is your life, do you prioritize prayer? Not just God bless me, nothing wrong with that. Not just God, hello, how you doing? But do you prioritize going into the quiet with God? When there's no distractions and nobody else, and you actually watch this, because a love language, right? Quality time is a love language. It's one of the love languages. And so do you set apart time to be in the quiet with God? Do you prioritize prayer? Now, if Jesus is prioritizing prayer, then obviously he understands that there's something powerful and beautiful that happens in the quiet, in that place of solitude. And here's the beauty, what you and I, what people were seeing, the authority that Jesus had in public came from the intimacy that he had in private. I'll say that again. The authority that Jesus has in public, right? Casting out demons, preaching, living from the overflow, the abundance, giving himself and healing people, all of that, that's what people see in public. They don't know that what he's doing in private is he's spending time with the Father in intimacy to realign his vision and his mission, to not get sucked into the crowd. Because the voice of the crowd is like, everyone's looking for you, Jesus. Simon is like, he is reflecting the crowd. And if there's one thing that you and I have learned about in life, is that the crowd can be intoxicating. The crowd can pressure us into doing things that we don't necessarily want to do. We can get excited with the hype. We can get excited with going viral. And yet it's almost like Jesus knows, I've got to check in with the Father, because I don't want to ride a wave that isn't meant for me. And so I want to invite you to kind of reflect for yourself that maybe if you feel like you're running on fumes in life, we can look at the life, the way of Jesus, and he's modeling to us that you and I are called to have a private life with God, right? In the quiet, so that when we live in public, we can declare the goodness and the love of God. And I know life is crazy. For those of you, maybe you're a mom or your dad, you've got your job, maybe you're a student right now, you're going to high school, or you're in college, and life is hectic. But I want to ask you, I want to invite you, I want to encourage you to, even before you do homework, or spend that quiet time with God. Before you go to school, right? Like, carve out some time with God, with just you and the Father. Before you go to work, before you even parent, right? It's like, God, let me immerse myself in the quietness of your presence, so that can refocus, right, my vision of what matters the most. So that way I can give from that place. And now all of a sudden, instead of getting frustrated or overwhelmed, or I'm confused, or I'm anxious, or I've got all this stress, it's like God goes, listen, I'm with you. And I give you authority in this area of your life. I want to empower you. And maybe, I don't know, maybe you're listening right now and you're not even sure if you believe. You're like, I don't even know if I believe in God. I don't even know about Jesus. I'm kind of just here. I'm curious about this. Well, I want to invite you. If you've never tried this before, get up early in the morning before anybody's awake. Or maybe it's an evening walk and you go by yourself. You just look up at the stars and you just say, God, I don't know if you're real. I don't know who you are, but here I am. I'm willing. And do that for some time and see for yourself. If it does not impact you, if it doesn't transform your inner person, if it doesn't begin to form your inner voice into something that is more powerful and beautiful that comes from God. So Jesus does that. He prioritizes praying, like I said. He doesn't ride the wave of, like, Peter's like, yo, Jesus, everyone's looking for you. Let's go. Jesus is not swayed by popularity. He watch this. The voice of the crowd is not the thing that is pressuring him. It's not the thing that's moving him. It's not the thing that's dictating his next move. There's a voice that's more important to him, and that's the voice of God. And I want to get to that place in my life personally. And I hope that you do too. I hope you get to a place in your life where you say, there's all this pressure. There's all the voices from family members, from my friends, from coworkers, from people at school, from society, from social media, from the news, from like all these voices that are sometimes pressuring us. And we're like, I don't know what to do. I pray that we can get like Jesus, where we go, I'm not going to be swayed by the crowds, by the voice of the crowd, or by popular belief. I'm going to check in with God. And there's one voice that is more powerful, more weighty to me, that matters the most. And that's the voice of God, my Father. And that's what Jesus does. He checks in. He checks in with God and he goes, God, what's next? And God, unlike what the disciples, they thought, like, isn't this what we're supposed to be? Like, we're gaining momentum. Isn't this what we're supposed to do? And because Jesus has spent got up early before anybody's awake, right? While it's still dark, and he's checked in with God. By the time Peter comes back and he supposes that this is the mission, this is what we're supposed to do, Jesus has already realigned his vision with the Father. He's checked in. He's now moving according to the Spirit, not according to external circumstances, like what looks good, what looks popular, what looks successful. And he says, no, I know everyone wants me, and they want me to teach more, and they want me to heal more, and they're looking for me, and that's what they want me to do. And I know this looks like a moment of momentum, Peter, but let's go to the next town, for this is the reason why I came. I didn't come like, oh, please listen to this part. He's like, I'm not going to go back to the place where I'm already welcome, where I'm already popular, and where people already want to hear me, and where people have already come to see me. How easy is it for us, for our human nature, to already go to the place that we're already comfortable with, that we're already familiar with, or the place that we're like, yes, these people like me, or these people are receiving my message, or yes, they're like, yes, Jesus, we want more of you. But Jesus doesn't do that. Instead of doing that, he goes, let's go to the next town. I came for that too. And he doesn't get comfortable. He's on mission with the Father, and he's in alignment with the flow and with the will of God. So this week, as we end this week, as you go into this weekend, into next week, my prayer for myself, for you, is that you and I would learn to make it a rhythm in our life where it's not like a chore or a duty, but that we see the value and the necessary rhythm of going into the quiet with God. That's where I am recharged. That's where life, I'm like, oof, God, you're giving me life right now. Like, that's where my peace and my clarity, that's where vision comes from. When I hear that voice, not all the noise around me, but that I live and I go, Father, your voice is the most important voice. And I want to be about your business. So that said, God bless you. I will see you again on Monday for our devotionals, unless I see you tomorrow, Saturday, 11 o'clock, like I said. God bless. We'll see you soon.